So you could add people and it creates it. But you can change it to look like this. You can enter or put up image, let's say. So I'll look for an image of myself. Download. But I think you understand the concept. Let's look for army. Okay, so you can change it also like this or like this. And it's like ready-made templates. So I guess also here when I go to the layouts, then I had some possibilities. If I mark this, I should see some different ways to present it. So it can be like this, maybe there's more, but this is cool. So if you update maybe your office, then you might see that these show up. And yeah, so sometimes it's nice to show that. So that's what I wanted to show.
Okay, Ami, that's great. Dan has some stuff there now he's going to show us. Arrange objects in PowerPoint on Mac. Okay.
Frank, let me share my screen here. And let's see. Is it going to let me? I might have to do it from my other browser here. Let's do it here. There we go.
Yeah, we can see it there now.
Cool. So you can see McDonald's and Grimace's birthday was yesterday. So let's say I had this slide and I want to make the testing bigger and maybe this was overlapping, or I don't want the overlapping text, or I want the text to, be behind the golden arches, or, whatever aspect of the slide is confusing. Up on Arrange, Reorder Objects, flips everything into a 3D view. So it's much easier to understand what the layers are.
Wow.
So the more layers that you have on a slide, the more helpful this feature is.
That is slick.
Yeah. I was in a Microsoft meeting. They were presenting it internally, and everybody's hand shot up and said, when is this coming for Windows? And it's still not there for Windows. So if I think of like online pictures and I bring in some photos, maybe of McDonald's, bring in a few of these photos, and I might have that same issue, right? Of I bring in 5 photos. The 5 photos are a different, it looks like it's having, there we go. So now the reorder objects would show me, this is why one photo is covering up another photo, and I can just move the layers.
Oh.
Yeah.
So imagine it's something technical where you have like a whole engine which is split into all kind of layers, and you can see then how it.
Yeah. And I assume the reason it's Mac only is some kind of technical issue with, maybe they're leveraging something that's native on the Mac for visualizations. Because it's been long enough. If there were a way to do this on Windows or easily do this on Windows, they would have. But that's the one feature on a Mac that I always miss when I'm not on a when I'm on a Windows computer. I wish I could rearrange or reorder objects visually.
Wow.
Yeah. And I think it's under the I think it's under one of the menus too, the ribbons as well. I don't remember which ribbon it's
It's
under.
probably a hidden gem.
Yeah.
There's one name that once Microsoft or developers would hide within a Excel or something like a Easter egg or something that if you found it then you could see something special. So
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a myth or is it really?
So I know
Yeah,
with
it once
Excel and
was
some
like
other
20 years ago.
applications, a lot of the games had hidden features in the Office applications, in the Windows operating system. But I
Yeah.
believe it was around the XP timeframe. Windows XP had so many security vulnerabilities that there was a mandate that you take out Easter eggs
Developers
because,
would
yeah, programmers were spending time making. See you later. Programmers were spending time making like fun little Easter eggs and not necessarily keeping their code secure and free from vulnerabilities. So many of those Easter eggs were like maybe pre 2003, 2005 timeframe, but many of the Easter eggs disappeared.
Yeah. Actually, lots of people are trying to use or reuse skills, and I heard that 50% of the skills that you download or get from somebody can be malicious. So there's
Wow.
some
Doesn't
tools
surprise
where
me.
you can take the skill because what happens, you're giving a skill is like a set of instructions that to do an action. Now if somebody decides to delete all of your files on your OneDrive or something, or do send himself all kinds of things, then it's good to share things, but there might be you better check your skill that you got from somebody, that it's not doing something that you don't want it to do, because it could be dangerous. Of course, if
Yeah.
you did an actions and you just said turn it to a skill, then you're safe. But if you took it from somewhere, I heard there's some kind of tools where you can upload your skills and it tells you uh, how
That would be
secure
good.
it is. So
Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of
yeah, because
situations where that can be,
if it's
you know, anytime
50%,
you're scripting, right?
that's a bit
Anytime you're
risky
scripting, if you
unless
know how to
loaded
do
from
something.
the official site of Microsoft. Yeah.
Yep.
So would that be like, we'd say like a prompt injection?
It's kind of prompt injection, but if you're writing a script and you're executing a script as like an elevated account, you can give yourself like I saw somebody write like a script that basically gave them admin rights. You can create accounts that don't exist. Yeah, so there's things like that that can happen pretty easily.
Yeah, in the early
A
days of
skill can
Copilot.
connect even to our API. So yeah, it could be.
So I was at a talk there last year, and this guy playing around Copilot, and he said, "Write me a script so I can get access to this admin rights to this network." And it said, "Sorry, you can't do anything like that." So he rearranged the prompt, and he kind of said, "I'm a professor in this university, and I'm just using this as a demo to show my students." So then it wrote it for him. So
Yeah, but there should be responsible AI also that should prevent you from doing things like that.
yeah,
You know. Oh. the whole idea that Microsoft is not just it's a platform that does all kinds of filters and should put security on the first priority. At least
Yeah, so that was in
that's
the
what they
early
say.
days.
So
Yeah, it's evolved a lot since then.
yes, yeah. Microsoft is once was committed to one model, and now it's becoming a platform where it can host or give the user to choose from multiple models. So you can choose what's if this one model is good in Excel and other is good in writing. Even in the researcher, then it's combining both. The so you can have in the researcher a possibility that GPT writes the information and Claude checks the information. So it's trying to give the best of all.
Yeah, so you saw the new legal agent that's out.
Is it? I think it's
I think
only it,
it's
first of all, I think it's in Word
okay.
and it's only in the US, so I'm not sure. I don't know if
Okay.
it's GA, but maybe it's
It's
in
for
preview.
Frontier,
But
is
it
it?
might be only in the US.
You think it's only in Word, is it?
It's definitely only in Word, and I also heard it's only in US. So, and I'm not sure if it's in preview, if it's private preview or public preview or GA. So, but it might come. But yeah. Again, it will not give you legal advice. Yes, it will help you work as a legal person, but it will not give you specific advice. It should help, but doing things like that.
Yeah, Frank, I know we have Scott Hanselman, who's stopped by the Azure and AI show a couple times.
Yeah.
And he's going to be presenting on June 23rd in Chicago.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Would love
Be
to
sure
be
to
there.
tell him hello. Have you met him before, Hal?
I think so at one of the summits.
Yeah.
I
was
don't
going to
know
say
that he would
met him.
remember me, but then I don't know about. I mean, guys like that, they meet so many people.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing. Like, you hope that if you meet them enough times, that maybe they remember your name. But
Yeah.
there are a lot of people that I'm sure Scott and like Mark Rusinovich or even Justin from the MVP program. He's got like 4,000 MVPs that probably know him, but
Yeah.
the reverse is kind of that's more difficult. That's more cognitive load, right?
Yeah.
Who are
Yeah.
these people, even if you recognize them, right?
Yeah. The one biggie for me was and you're not going to forget his name now, are you? Raymond Chen.
Okay.
I don't know that you've ever.
I don't think I've ran into him.
He was he put on a it was one of those little shows at the Hub Center at the I guess it was like 2 years ago at the summit, something like that.
Okay.
He is the was the genius behind Tweak UI and
Oh, cool.
a few other. The original Power Toys author has been with them since like Windows 95.
Wow.
I met him once, and I think at my second or third summit. Of course, he didn't remember me, but the thing of it is I got to meet him again at this and go up and shake hands, get a picture, and all that good stuff. He's kind of a hero of mine.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Well, a lot of these guys, Scott too. I mean,
Yeah,
gosh,
there's so many people. And Scott, so when he stopped by here, Frank was gone the first time. And he stopped by just very briefly to congratulate Frank for getting his MVP. And then the second time he came by, Frank, he might have been here 3 times total. But I know the second time you were here, and one of his points, Hal, to your point, was that community work doesn't have to be, the stage with 1,000 people. This community work where maybe there's only 4 of us and a small audience or an audience that finds us later is just as important as like those keynotes or
absolutely.
those big rooms of people. Because if you're in a big room of people, you can be guaranteed you don't know them all, even if you know some of them, right? They might
Right.
all know you, like they all know Scott.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, like Scott doesn't know everybody by name or, recall everyone. But he was kind enough to stop by like 2 or 3 times when Frank got his MVP. That was really cool.
Excellent.
Yeah. I thought you were winding me up when you said the first time that Scott came along to see you and I wasn't there.
Well, you remember when I used to do the avatar of Satya when Matthew was on?
Oh yeah.
So it wasn't really Satya, but I do the team's avatar for Satya being in one of our meetings. And Matthew, who started this or started Journey to the Cloud with Frank and I, Matthew was presenting, and then all of a sudden Satya shows up in the meeting, but it wasn't really Satya. We have not had him on.
Does he even do these things?
That's a good question. I don't know if he does. I haven't seen him interviewed by a lot of
Me either.
even popular YouTube folks or anything. I believe he was interviewed once by the CEO of LinkedIn. And then the CEO of LinkedIn is new now too. They've just announced a transition there. But even the new CEO I know does a lot of like live little video snippets. But I don't know if he'll continue on with like the talking to leaders of other companies series that Ryan Rolansky did.
You see that one?
I
Dan?
wonder how many people use avatars anymore, because once it was like a thing, and Microsoft even wanted to go to the Dataverse and all of that, but now it seems like Microsoft dropped all of their, this virtual experience. I think I don't remember how it was called, but
yeah, a lot
because
of that. Well,
Copilot
they
came
got
in,
together
so
mode too. So there's been a
Together
bunch of
mode's
that.
going away.
yes, that's deprecating.
Can you see my screen there?
Yep.
That was the time Scott joined us.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Yeah, see how many hits it got? That was over a year ago.
Yes. When you have somebody
18,000?
like Scott.
Oh my God.
When you have somebody like Scott stop by, it's
Yeah, so
it's a little different.
I added his handle in here, you see, so I'd say that probably helped.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing I found, like
What is his position?
at the time he was
What was his title? Or
I believe he
Community
was
developer.
VP of developer tools, and he has a new title. He's VP of like product or something. I don't remember the new title, but it's similar. He's like a developer advocate for the entire company, and he has like a whole team under him, and just a really humble
on the show.
Great presenter. And that he just joined us from like, I think he said he was just outside, like walking his kids to the park or something.
I wonder if I play it, see, can you hear it? Let me see. Or did he join just there?
I can't hear the sound. You might have to share the sound when you share the screen.
No,
There's
I
like a
can't
share
hear.
sound. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just stop sharing and share again.
When you go to the share,
Is
there's
this a new layout of
sound.
StreamYard?
The circles.
StreamYard, I never saw. Yeah, the circles, I never
Yeah.
saw it.
There is a place that I changed it, and I forgot to mention it to Frank. And then
So
It's
forgot
nice
where
like
I
that.
changed it.
So do I click on?
When you go to the share screen, Frank, there should be a include sound checkbox.
Yeah, it says also share audio. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. That's it. Let me see if I can find this.
Yeah.
Little...
There we go.
And I was just telling him about how I met you again at the MVP summit. That Frank wasn't there in person,
Yeah.
neither was Joseph. But thanks for stopping by.
No,
Your
of
support
course.
is always welcome.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're here on your Saturday afternoon, or depending on what time zone you're in, putting out good information and sharing it with folks. And I was literally putting my glasses on and heading out with my son for lunch, and it popped up on my feed, and I says, "Hey, I'm going to go check out Dan and Friends," and here you are.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So good job,
is
Frank.
from
You're
Cork,
putting
Iowa.
out. Yeah, I see that there's putting 3 LinkedIn channels, 2 YouTube. So thank you for your work and your effort. That's very very clever and very industrious to have it going to so many places.
Yeah, we had it 1 week there. We had it going out through 12 different platforms, 6 LinkedIns, 4 YouTubes, Twitter, Facebook.
Well, I feel like I've interrupted your. I feel like I've stepped in on a
No.
dinner party I wasn't invited to.
No.
We appreciate you.
I love the story you tell about the Scott and Mark show and the Mark and Scott show.
Yeah, we go back and forth. We registered both domains.
That's awesome.
Because we don't know whose ego is bigger, so we gotta figure
That's
out.
how I feel when we do this, because Frank came up with the Azure and AI show, but he just hit 15,000 followers.
Oh, congratulations! That's exciting.
Yeah.
And it always surprises me with 15,000. You'd think that since we work together a lot, that we'd have hundreds or thousands of people in common, but it always surprises me how little overlap that I have out of 15,000 people. I would guess 2,000, 3,000 people are probably the same, Microsoft or other MVPs.
Yeah.
But typically it's lucky if I've got 300 or 400 people in common.
Now, people don't realize how big the earth is, and there's a huge audience out there just waiting for you. And we feel like there's the couple of degrees of separation, but people have huge audiences on their own. So the fact that you've joined forces, and then now you've got Joseph hanging out with you, just means you're going to get a bigger crowd.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And sometimes we have Sina Khan, who's in Bahrain. So same kind of thing. Like, the globe is a very large place.
It's brought together here virtually, honestly.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
True too.
Yeah. And I'm looking here, Dan, at your credibility bookshelf behind you. Joseph, that's when you have something cool behind you, it builds credibility. And most people put books behind them to show that they are readers. We see that Dan is not trying to send that message to us here. What message are you sending me with your credibility behind you there, sir?
Do you know what show this is the set from?
I can't tell because you've got the skills thing up there. You're sharing your screen. So
okay.
I'm zooming in on you, sir.
Yeah. So this is a
is that from the
British
IT
show.
crowd?
That
IT
is
crowd?
The IT crowd, yes.
There it is. Okay.
The number one guess is that your basement? And
No. When
my basement.
when I had more hair, you'd be surprised. But I used to get guys on the street as Chris O'Dowd, and I had longer, curlier hair, and people would say that I looked like him. I guess it's beady eyes, and we're both Scottish. But yeah, that looked familiar to me, sir. So you've built your credibility already.
There you go. This is my favorite virtual background if I get to pick one. And I don't have this on my phone typically. So if I'm not at my computer, I don't have the IT crowd background loaded on my phone, but I need to do that.
Nice. Mine is simply the park next to my house, so it's just a field and
Right.
a field and nothing, and a kid's playground.
There you go. Well, thanks for jumping on.
I'll let you gentlemen go, but thank you for having me, and I hope you have a fun afternoon sharing knowledge and spreading the word.
Excellent.
There we go.
That was nifty.
Yeah. And all I did, Hal, was I tagged him and I sent him like a message on LinkedIn, and I said, hey, if it's weekly, so it's like, if this isn't a good Saturday, feel free to join us sometime. And I was shocked, like twice he just popped into the StreamYard feed and spent a few minutes with us.
It's just utterly delightful when they'll do that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, it'd be like contacting your favorite, rock star or band or somebody you look up to and having them show up or call you or, like say congratulations or something. It was just really, really nice of him.
Absolutely.
So in the live show then, because we don't have any speakers, don't know what happened. So we'll be back again next week, everyone. And we might do some more stuff with Copilot and some other announcements. So you have the thing in Chicago next week, so Dan, with Scott. You're on mute. You're on mute there, Dan.
Echo.
Yeah.
So you have the thing in Chicago next week with Scott. You're on mute.
There we go.
Yeah, I was just saying you have the thing in Chicago next week with where Scott Hanselman is doing a talk.
Scott will be with us the following week. So next week is the Juneteenth conference. That's on Friday the 19th. And then the following Tuesday is Scott. So we have two really big events in Chicago coming up. And we actually have, there's a Chicago cloud computing meetup group on Thursday before Juneteenth. So on the 18th of June, we have another Chicago cloud computing meetup group meeting. So Scott just happened to be in for something else, and David asked him, one of the hosts at Microsoft asked if Scott would join us and present. And so he's going to be there the 23rd. And that's similar to what you saw in tagging him, right? We put out the invite, Scott's going to be in Chicago, and all of a sudden that one's going to be probably 4 times as full as a regular meetup. And we had to cap it. We had to put like once it reaches this capacity, we can't allow any more people into the event. So it'll be standing room only, I'm sure.
Very good. So thanks everyone for joining us, and we'll be back again next week at the same time. So
Thanks, Frank.
Thanks.
Good to see you, Hal.
Thanks, Dan. Always a pleasure, and I'll see y'all next week.